Tears and triumph, Katoa fights back from seizure surgery. Will he deny Walsh the golden boot glory? In the veiled hush of Auckland Hospital's dawn-lit corridors, where monitors whisper like ancestral winds across Tongan reefs, can one warrior's defiant stir from the surgeon's shadow, forged in the crucible of unseen fractures, eclipse the comet's trail of a prodigy, and claim the golden laurel that crowns not just skill, but the soul's unyielding return? November 2nd, 2025, an Eden Park post under a bruised Pacific sky. The air thick with the salt of haka chants and the thunder of 25,000 voices converging in a rite of nations reborn. The Pacific Championships had crested in savage splendor. Tonga's Mopma Tonga, those seafaring titans clashing against New Zealand's Kiwis in a test that wove brotherhood's blade with rivalry's unsparing edge. Every collision a verse in the epic of islands' indomitable kin. Eli Katoa, the 25-year-old back rower from Melbourne Storm, stood as a pillar of Tongan fire, grandson of voyagers who braved endless blues, his frame a testament to diaspora dreams chased from Nuku'alofa's shores to Ami Park's roar. Coach Christian Wolfe marshaled his charge like a navigator through tempests, while across the hemisphere, Reece Walsh, Brisbane's 23-year-old lightning incarnate, had already scorched the Ashes' opening blaze at Wembley, his dual tries and daring intercepts vaulting him toward the International Rugby League's golden boot, that elusive chalice of global mastery. Please like, share, and subscribe for more Sport Talk content. Yet fate's scripted horror in Prelude's frenzy, Katoa's leap for a warm-up high ball met teammate Lihi Hopoe's shoulder in a thunderclap of bone and resolve, felling him amid the ritual's rhythm. Consciousness, a fleeting ember cleared by vigilant eyes blind to the gathering gloom. He rose to thunder the haka's vow, his chant a bridge from pain's prelude to the phrase fierce embrace, the turf still warm with the ghosts of glories past. The siren's cry unleashed the Colosseum's wrath, Kiwis surging like relentless swells against Koro, Tonga countering with the unbowed surge of exiles who carry homelands in their hearts. Early minutes etched in eternity, Katoa absorbed a second scar, an errant elbow from Sunia Taruva, blooming blood like hibiscus under floodlights, the first HIA a gauntlet passed with stoic nod. His return met by the bench's murmurs and the crowd's swelling undercurrent, a tapestry of awe laced with unease. The third decree descended merciless in the 51st minute, a head-on clash with Kiwi forward Nafahu White, forging helmets like ancient adzes. The mandatory second HIA exiling him to the bench's shadowed vigil. There, in the halftime interlude's fragile peace, Seizure's serpent struck, Katoa's frame convulsing like a canoe capsized in maelstrom, oxygen's mask a desperate tether, medics converging as Eden Park's roar fractured into a collective gasp, the very air thickening with the scent of liniment and lament. The stadium's symphony shattered, parents shielding young eyes in the terraces, veterans clasping weathered hands in silent covenant, a hush rippling from the southern stand like mist over lagoons, Kiwis pausing mid-surge in deference to the fallen brother. Wolfe, frozen on the touchline, turned to his circle with voice gravel low. We trusted the right. How deep does the fracture run unseen? Teammates knelt in fractured prayer, Jazz Tavaga's whisper cutting the din. Hold on, Eli. The islands call you home. As stretcher shadows lengthened under the arc lights, applause swelling bipartisan and bittersweet, a tide of respect washing over the scoreboard's indifferent toll. In Auckland's surgical sanctum, under the blade's precise mercy amid beeps like distant war drums, surgeons drained the brain's relentless swell, mending the bleed that threatened to eclipse a life woven with promise and Pacific pride. Hours stretched into vigil's vigil, family a circle of clasped hands and murmured hymns, his partner tracing patterns on his palm as if to map the way back from abyss. The awakening came as dawn's first light pierced the blinds, a flutter of eyelids on November 5th, monitor's chorus shifting from dirge to dawn song, Katoa's gaze meeting his mother's with a murmur of Tongan warmth. I'm here, still charging. Stable yet scarred, whispers of the Golden Boot's long list reached his ward like distant cheers. Walsh's Wembley wizardry and Liverpool lapses positioning him atop the fray. Yet Katoa's pre-seizure storm, his 142 meters and unyielding tackles in Tonga's gallant grind, had etched him onto the slate of 18 contenders, a shadow rising to challenge the comet's glow. That fragile resurgence hung like frangipani in the ether. Katoa, propped against pillows, scrolling feeds from his bed, his quiet nod to the selector's nod of vow unspoken. Could this trial temper him into the titan to deny Walsh the laurel, turning personal peril into the code's crowning irony? Teammates from afar, Luai and Paulo, sent videos laced with "Rise, brother. The boot awaits your fire." The room alight with the fire of reclamation, as nurses paused in quiet awe, the hospital's hush yielding to hope's hesitant hum. Word of Katoa's stirring cascaded like monsoon balm through the digital Pacific. Eli awake, surging from Melbourne's laneways to Tonga's tide pools, clips of his hospital vigil remixed with Haka highlights exploding across Instagram and TikTok. 1.8 million views by midday. Fans etching prayers on suburban shrines. Hashtags weaving Walsh's blaze with Katoa's bravery in a tapestry of tension. From bench to boot contender, who claims the gold? News wires thrummed with the dual dirge turned dawn. The Sydney Morning Herald framing Katoa's comeback as Titans triumph over Tempest. Nine's bulletins dissecting the long list where Walsh's ashes arc clashed with Katoa's unyielding underdog ember. Pundits like Sean Johnson decrying the seizure's shadow while hailing the forward's potential to steal the shine from Reese's sprint. Fan reactions poured like confetti laced with tears. In Bondi's Roosters haunts, diehards toasting Katoa's grit amid debates on boot ballots. Young Tongans in Auckland's Otara markets pausing mid-prayer to scroll. Their cheers a chorus bridging hospital halls to Headingley's horizon. Deeper, it rooted in rugby league's scarred saga. The code's cradle in 1908's Woolen Wars and Pacific migrations, where Islander sons like Katoa, Samoan echoes in his veins, sprinted from factory floors to firmaments, their bodies proxies for homelands, unbowed hymns. Historically, it echoed Paul Gallen's grizzled campaigns or Benji Marshall's boot-bound brilliance, yet this vignette deepened the diaspora decree. Katoa's trial a mirror to Walsh's prodigal path, both Pacific prodigies in a race reframed by resilience, where the Golden Boot, voted by elders like Lockyer and Smith, honors not just flair, but the forge of fortitude. Culturally, it resonated across the archipelago. In Nuku'alofa's church steeples, elders invoking Katoa's name in sermons on Ofa, selfless love amid strife. In Brisbane's Moreton Bay, indigenous kin nodding to Walsh's lightning as kin to their own ancestral arcs, the moment of confluence where Tongan tenacity met Queensland quicksilver, social scrolls ablaze with polls pitting Eli's ember versus Reese's rocket, transcending club crests in a rite that affirmed league soul as shared seed, not solitary summit. The International Rugby League's machinery whirred in watchful grace, shortlists looming post-Pacific Cup finale on November 9th, inquiries into Katoa's knocks yielding calls for warm-up wards and spotter sentinels, while fans from 5 nations united in forums etching elegies to evolution. In this golden gambit, Katoa's rise birthed a profounder pact. International fire as fraternity's forge, where one man's mending might mantle the other's mantle, the race a beacon for the unscarred talents tracing their trails. In the reflective quiet of Eden Park's emptying echoes, as autumn rains lashed the stands like unshed sorrows,